be all the way over there. You'll let me go get it, right? Must have it. Happy Monday, everybody. Welcome to the studio. We are going to talk about what all these kiddos are doing this week, which is the first week of May classes. Let me double check and just make sure we are in fact live. Okay, we're good to go. Let's rock this out. You ready? I've got some examples to show you for the multimedia classes, and we're going to talk through a little bit about what the first steps are in these projects, and yeah, and a couple of housekeeping things. It'll be a short video. You ready? Here we go. It is preschool month that is also, oh my gosh, it's going to be one of those days, you guys. It is our metals and sculpture month for preschool classes. And so they've got 3 books that go along with our projects. We're going to do Don't Let the Pigeon Drive the Bus. That's this week's class. Sylvester and the Magic Pebble. And then we'll end our month with This Is Not My Hat. As a reminder, our preschool classes only meet 3 times a month. Multimedia and drawing meet 4 times, but preschool, daytime, like those young kids, 3 times a month. So our month for these classes actually ends the week of May 15th. So that 3rd week, we're going to wrap up with our last class on the 19th if you're on the Friday class. Okay, so somewhere between the 15th and 19th, preschool classes, that's it. Like, we'll send your journal home and you are done for the year. We have a lot of really fun projects this month with Don't Let the Pigeon Drive the Bus. We make our clay bobblehead pigeons. It's a fun one to end our year with. They'll sculpt today and then paint over the next 2 weeks, and then take them home at the end of the semester. So if for some reason you're going to miss a class, either make sure you come in and do a makeup. It's a really cute little project, or just let us know so that we know to send it home with you, I guess. Yeah. Sylvester and the Magic Pebble, we get to make some dangerous art. So we'll heat up the rocks and they'll get to melt crayons over the top of the rocks. And then This Is Not My Hat, we make hats, of course, out of wrapping paper and packing tape. So This Is Not My Hat is always a fun one to end on. It's kind of silly and goofy. It's John Clausen, which is one of our favorite authors. A lot of dry humor in that one. Our drawing classes are going to be doing in plein air art. So our 101 and our 102 advanced realistic. We'll try to get outside as much as possible, weather permitting, in the month of May. We're going to be looking at trees in week 1. We're going to look at buildings and roads, which is another great perspective lesson in week 2. And then in week 3, we'll use our powers of observation and do rocks. So it's about like noticing all of the visual texture and color within just a very small object and trying to represent that. So I wore a shirt with a lot of green in it today, and it keeps going in and out because of my slideshow. My 102 comic and cartoons, they started comic books way back in the fall, and then during some of their free time or their wildcard weeks, they've been working on them. So those artists will set a goal for the month and will tackle either finishing those books if that's a realistic goal, or setting like a certain number of pages that they're going to get all the way accomplished, start to finish. So that'll be their goal for the month of May. In our multimedia class, it is metals month. So I've got 3 different projects to show you. My K1 and 2nd, 3rds are going to be working with metal tooling foil and making metal medallions or flowers. It could be either one, right? So they are small little tooling flowers. This is an example that I made. And each one of these is a separate piece of metal foil that has been glued to a backer board and matted. You'll see some of them are silver, some of them are copper, and some of them are colored. The tooling foil that we use is silver on one side and copper on the other. It is, I want to say, 22 gauge, it might be 24 gauge tooling foil. And then we can color it with alcohol ink. So the kids will have the option of which side they like, and then they'll also have the option of coloring it. All of the visual, like all the texture that you see, is done using either like a wooden stylus, a metal stylus, or a pencil. We'll start with the pencil with our kids. And then that's actually really good for most areas in terms of like embossing it. If they have a bigger area, we might hand them a wider shaped stylus. We do have some of those. But for most of the kids, they'll do it with just a dull pencil. And we lay the tooling foil on felt, and that gives us just enough give to emboss the metal. it will work from both sides. And this one's obviously glued down, so I can't show you too much, but I've got the fourth and fifth example will give you a better idea of the dimension for both sides. All right. So those will be their steps for a lot of our K1s, especially this is the first time they've used tooling foil. So it's a brand new medium for them, but it's a fun way to do drawing and have it be dimensional. For our fourth and fifth and our homeschool classes, they're going to be doing mandalas. And so this is also tooling foil. So I'm going to show you this side. This is the silver side. This side is the copper side, and it has also been colored. Can't really see the green, but it has also been colored with alcohol inks. So this either way is appropriate. Some of your kids may do color on one side and then be like, I like the silver better or the copper plain better. And then that's the side that they'll end up mounting. These will be finished on, we actually bought cake rounds. So they'll be mounted on cake rounds and with a hanger on it. So that way they can actually be hung on the wall. But I left it off because this is easier to show the kids. So this is actually my mandala design. That it's a repeating design that goes all the way around. The tooling foil, I'm going to talk a little bit about just the foil in general and the process for embossing, and then I'm going to talk about the project, the steps that our kids are going to be doing this week. All right, so the tooling foil, you can see it's really, really thin. It also is really, really lightweight. It has a little bit of a sharp edge. It will give you a paper cut. Hopefully our kids handle it with care. It's not like what do I have back there? I have like roof flashing that we've used in an adult class, and that stuff is super sharp. This isn't like that, but it is paper cutty. So we want to make sure that we tell the kids that they're not being around with it. The tooling foil is really easy to bend, and it's really easy to emboss. So we'll have the circles pre-cut for them, and then they will use their wooden either pencil or stylus to transfer their design. When they push on one side, obviously it depresses it, and then it creates like a raised, this little petal right here is raised. So in order to make that side raised, what you did is on this side, you traced around the petal and then you colored in, essentially. You just take a pencil and color it in, and that pushes all of it away. So that way when you flip it over, it's raised. Okay. Those pencil lines do show up. You can see in that center petal area, I used my pencil and I went this way when I was coloring. If I had gone across it, then you would get a different texture. All of that texture is translated into our metal tooling design. This looks really, really complicated. It's actually not as bad as it seems. The pizza pie that we're going to give them is going to be a fourth of this. They'll design that, and then they'll just trace it and repeat it throughout the design. This is fourth and fifth and homeschool classes. So their first step is to design their pie piece, because then next week they'll start transferring it into their mandala, and then they'll get all the details. The details will kind of like a Zentangle. Remember some of you guys were with us in November when we did tangles and pattern drawing. A lot of time when you draw it, it sticks out. All right, my middle school high schoolers, my fourth, fifth, or my middle school high schoolers, 6th, 7th, 8th through 12th are making bug sculptures, and of course I'm all tangled. So they are doing a lot of wire work. Now we do have a fiber base. We just finished our fiber month. This one does have a fiber kind of fill in the inside, but all of the detail work and all of the structural work is done in metals. This guy hangs in the lobby in Liberty. So you've probably seen him. He's a giant, like dragonfly. He's got some green in his body, and that's why he's kind of not showing up in our slideshow. But you can see he has like a fleece body that's been wadded up and wrapped in yarn to kind of hold that structure. And then he's completely covered in a bunch of different kinds of wire. Actually, he's got 18 gauge is the light blue stuff. This stuff here is, I think, 16 gauge. And then the legs are made out of 12 gauge wire. It's all anodized aluminum. So it's really easy to bend. And we've got his eyeballs are made out of wire as well. He can stand up. So the kids will be working with their wires. He's been twisted so that he's nice and tight. That strengthens the metal so that he can hold his weight. He's really heavy. So So we want to make sure our bugs have like enough structure to stand up. We're always fighting gravity when we're working in 3 dimensions. His wings are also made of wire, and then they also have like tissue paper Mod Podge on. Okay, so we've got a lot of different directions people can go with their wire bug sculptures. This is another guy that sits in the lobby. Of course, he's like majorly green, but he usually just sits on my desk. He gets a lot of love, and so I fix him a lot. But he's got some beads for eyeballs. This one here didn't have beads, right? He just had kind of wound wire. We've got tissue paper wings on this guy too. It's painted with glitter glue, and then he's got his legs. He doesn't hang from the ceiling. He usually just sits up. So 2 different shapes, 2 different scales. The kids will decide what they want. If there's going to be a dragonfly kind of body, or a bee, or a beetle, or something imaginatory. So they'll start shaping their bodies this month or this week, and then next week they'll start putting on like all the appendages, which is it's tricky, you know, joining wire, twisting wire, building with wire. It's always tricky, but they'll get it because they're like brilliant artists. I'm excited to see what they've created. We've done this bug project with pretty much every other class except these guys. I went back because I can see, like, I have to look for it, but I can see like the class of 2028, which is right, some of them are like 2027 that are in this class. So graduating class 2027, like I can go back and look, like when you were in 2nd grade, did we do a bug project? So, you know, we've done it with K1s, we've done it with 2nd, 3rds, we've done it with 4th, 5ths. But this group of kids, it has missed them every time we've done it. We've always done it with either a class above them or a class below them. So I'm excited to see what they can do now, that especially their middle school or high schoolers. Like this is the first time we've done it with that older group, and I think they'll have a lot of fun with it, especially coming off of the felted animals, because they're already in kind of sculpture mode. All right, couple housekeeping things, and then I will let you guys go. First and foremost, the last day of classes is May 26th. That's the Friday before Memorial Day, and we are done. It is the end of our school year. We don't do regular weekly classes throughout the summer, and I will still have people that missed that note. So if you're coming every Tuesday night and you have been coming since September, that ends that last week of May. We will not be here. So if you just show up in the first week of June on a Tuesday night, like nobody's going to be here. The doors will be locked, everything's turned off. We will not be here. There are no evening classes like your drawing classes, your multimedia classes. There are no homeschool classes. There are no preschool classes in the way that you know them. There are no, like those things do not meet in the summer at all. You will not be charged like June tuition. All of the tuition payments stop. Today was the last day that those go out. Everything is done. The next time we see you guys for regular weekly classes will be September, after Labor Day, unless you're in a Monday night class, which is crazy, but let's just go with that, after Labor Day. For the whole summer, we've got other things going on. You can join us for, we've got summer camps for the like K through 5th grade, or even, I guess it's not K through 5th, it's 4 years old through 12 years old, because we don't do grades in the summer because it gets confusing. So 4 years to 12 years. So our our camps, our 4-day camps are for that demographic. For the younger ones, we have story time classes on Fridays. There's only 7 of them. Most of them are sold out. So if you want to join us for summer story times, they're single session. You can get signed up for those. We only have 7 summer camps too. So again, like those are filling up. So if you want to join us for camps, pick your week and sign up on one of the ones that isn't full yet. And then for our teens, that 12 and up crowd, we've got workshops, like 2-night workshops. So they're a Monday, Tuesday night, and that's it. And they're all themed. So you pick, like, are you coming to the botanical themed one? Are you coming to the altered painting one? Are you coming to the stop motion one? Whatever, like, but it's 2 nights, and that's your only commitment. It's not like every Monday, because that's hard in the summer. So check those out. If you have questions on those, let me know. Also, kind of on that note, this month we have to transition to our, like, having the studio set for all the new summer programming. So we've got, every class has a cubby And in those cubbies are all like journals and current projects and unfinished projects. So the instructors are starting to work through those cubbies, and they'll be sending home unfinished projects. So if you came to class in December and you didn't finish December's watercolor project, it's still sitting in the cubby probably. So we'll start sending those home. You could still come and finish them. You just have to make a reservation on our website and come in on a Wednesday night for a makeup session. Okay. Our last day for makeups is 5/31. If we have a ton of people miss, we might add a week in June. It will not be the first week of June because the entire staff is taking vacation that week. It's our first year we're doing paid vacations, and it's that week. So everybody's off and everybody's paid. But the studio will be closed. So it won't be that week. It would be like the 14th of June if we add a day, but let's just plan tentatively on the last day for makeups is 5/31 to finish up any projects that you haven't gotten around to yet. And then, I guess I already did that one. No classes in June, July, and August. Okay. I think that is it. So that is all of my housekeeping notes. If anybody has any questions, feel free to reach out and let me know. I have regular hours here in the Liberty Studio all week because it always is in the first week of the month. So we are on the tail end of our school year, you guys. I know May is a crazy month for everyone, and not just here in the art studio, right? It's crazy for school stuff. It's crazy for the arts. So if you're in band or choir or orchestra or everything, it's just crazy. So I get that. I totally do. If you miss class, just sign up for a makeup. We'll get you caught up. Can't make a makeup, we'll get you caught up in class. Just communicate with us and let us know how we can help you get the most out of your art classes. We want you to finish those projects as well. All right. All right, everybody have a wonderful rest of your first week of May, and I will talk to you next week.